Hey guys, what's going on? I'm out here on a lovely Saturday trying to knock out this 500-mile break-in period as fast as I can. Hey, these brakes work great on this Fat Bob. Holy cow, look at that. Bam! Thank you, ma'am. Anyway, I don't have the audio dialed in yet on this bike. That 15-inch windshield's giving me all kinds of crap. So I thought that what I do is pull over in the old prison here, try to find a place to park, and do a quick kind of feedback review on the first couple hundred miles here on the new 2019 Fat Bob 114. Hell yeah! All right, guys, we're over here at the old prison. Apparently it's lawn care day. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's some like really loud hillbilly music blaring from over the other side of those bushes and trees. I may have to make a hasty retreat, and we'll see. But I wanted to give you a few thoughts. I've been riding now for about 200 miles. So I've got 300 miles left for the break-in period to be completed. I love the bike. Oh my God, the bike is absolutely beautiful. I know this model was really divisive for a lot of Harley fans, but if I had to pick one bike from anybody, I honestly think this is kind of the perfect bike for me. Maybe I'm just the target. Well, I know I'm not the target demographic because I'm too friggin' old, but maybe it's just because I have a youthful sensibility. Don't know. So a couple of things that I want to get out of the way real quick. You guys saw the test ride that I did on that 2018, and first off, the question of the clutch. This is the stock clutch, and it is very different than what was on the other bike. I don't know if that clutch was stock or not, but I would say that it came out about this much further than what the stock did. So that was kind of tough for me, on that test ride because my fingers aren't that long. This one is just about perfect. I may try to pull it back just a tad. The other thing that obviously I talked a lot about on the test ride were the bars. So these are the stock drag bars. I gotta tell you, they're damn near perfect. I was, when I first got the Sportster, I wasn't sure how I was going to like the mini apes, but I very quickly learned to get used to those, excuse me, and really enjoyed the mini apes. But, with these drags on here, this is more like I'm used to riding from, way back when I was actually riding. If I had to do anything with these, I might adjust them a little bit to pull them back maybe 1 inch. As it is, my arms are not quite locked, but they don't have as much bend as I prefer to have. But other than that, I mean, these things are they're just great. And the other thing I noticed about these is going into curves, whereas with the mini apes, I would have to put sometimes a little more input into the counter steer halfway through a curve, at least more than I felt was reasonable. But on this bike is just really responsive, and you just tap it and it goes. It's it's incredible. So I really like the bars. Now let's talk a little bit about the shield. I kind of alluded to an issue with this earlier, and I think in the video I did the day I picked it up. So this is the 15-inch shield that's made for the Fat Bob, that fits the Fat Bob. It's the quick release. You have two choices from Harley-Davidson, either this 15 or the 19. The 19 to me was too tall when I did a test fit, so I went with the 15. And when you do research on that, you'll probably see that 90% of the people say they hate this windscreen. I thought I'd be different. I figured, those guys are probably 6 feet tall. I'm 5'9". I shouldn't have an issue with this. It does come up reasonably high, and it's got this little scoop out kind of spoiler looking thing at the top, as you can see there. So I assumed that was just going to throw the wind right over my head. It did not, or it does not. It throws it right in my face. Not a big problem from, you know, as far as buffeting. I mean, my head's not bouncing all over the place, but I ride with a Bell Bullet, and that helmet's noisy already, and it's just like, it's horrible. I mean, the wind is just horrible with the sound. I can't really do audio on that, you know, or can't really do audio while I'm riding without having all this sound. So I'm gonna probably tomorrow or maybe later in the week, I'm gonna tape some string, several strands of string up on the top of the windshield, and go for a ride and see if I can visually see where the wind is going, and then try to come up with a way, either with a spoiler or something, to modify the path of the wind and get it up over my head. Other than that, I love the windscreen itself. You know, I wasn't really intending on riding with a windscreen all the time. I actually got it just for the winter months, and then if I'm on longer drives, you know, to kind of help mitigate the wind in the chest. But I actually kind of like it, other than it's just noisy as hell, or the wind is noisy. The mustache bars, a couple of folks have asked me about these. This is the standard mustache bar for the Fat Bob that comes from Harley-Davidson. It's very similar to the one that I had on the Sportster. The only difference, I believe, the one on the Sportster was one piece, came all the way across, and on the one for the Fat Bob, you can see that it actually mounts on either side of the frame there, and the centerpiece is not existent. You can use these instead of highway pegs. This is a really nice rubber. It's a high quality rubber. It's not like the one that I had on the Sportster. This is gonna last. I mean, this feels really good. Did have my feet up there a couple of times today, and that was kind of a nice position. Other than that, the controls, like I mentioned the other day, I think these are really halfway between mids and forwards. I think true forwards are probably a little further out this way, but these are absolutely perfect. I really feel great. It's a great position. I've not felt that I've been on a bike that had a better fit for me. I mean, the rider triangle is really good. I really feel connected to the bike. Going into curves, it's just like you're just one with the bike. So at this point, the only thing I've done to the bike since I picked it up is yesterday I put on a hold fast system with the sissy bar. I have to have a sissy bar because I commute every day, and I don't like riding with a backpack. I don't want to buy another backpack because I've got so many, and I would have to probably get one that was made for riding in order for it to be really effective. I went back and forth on the sissy bar for a week before I actually picked up the bike, trying to figure out what I wanted to go with. There's only two options from Harley-Davidson for the hold fast detachable system. That's this one and this. I left the bag on here so you could kind of get an idea of how tall it really is. This is standard and it's as tall as they make it. The other one comes down to about right here. Honest to God, I think the other one is just absolutely useless. I mean, even for a passenger, I don't know why the hell you'd want that right in the under the small of your back. This one, to me, isn't high enough, but it's the best option that I can get right now for the hold fast. I almost pulled the trigger on getting one that was made by a company down in Houston that I really liked, that was more traditional and was about 6 inches higher. So it would have come to about right here, which I think is the perfect height. The problem is, the only way to mount that is between the strut and the fender, and that's just not something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to a rigid mount, and I definitely didn't want to put anything on my paint. So, you know, for now, this will work. That's my camera bag. It's got a Fuji X-H1 in it, and then I keep some GoPro stuff in it. So that's my small camera bag. It works. My commuter bag, which I might do I might do a video just on the sissy bar and kind of show you some comparisons, but my commuter bag, there has a sleeve on the back to attach luggage, and that sleeve actually comes down to here, so you've got about that much contact, you know, with the sissy bar, and it works really well. The only other thing that I plan to do with the bike right now is put a couple of sets of custom dynamics Pro beams, LEDs for my running lights, signals, and then the brakes. I'll do a video on that when I go through that install. And then the only other thing that I'm going to do to the bike from a mod perspective is I have ordered a rock form perch mount holder for my iPhone so that I can have my GPS up where I can see it. I did a lot of research, went back and forth between going with quad lock or rock form. The ram mount for me was just out. It's just big and bulky, and just to me that ram stuff just ruins the look of the bike. I think the rock form is going to go really nice, and but I like the functionality of having the magnet in it as well as the tether. So there's a quick update on the bike. I'm about just over 200 miles in, as I said before. This bike is smooth, oh my God, and so much power. The power's there when you need it, and I just, you know, I don't even know where to begin to describe the difference between this and the Iron 1200. So there are a few thoughts. I'm gonna head back to the house. Might do the custom dynamics LEDs today or maybe tomorrow. Next weekend is Rolling Thunder. It's the last Rolling Thunder, and I'll be riding in that protest. So I'll be doing some videos next weekend. That'll be around the Rolling Thunder protest, and you know, a lot of veterans that are all getting together for that. So you guys have a good one. Hope you're loving life as much as I am. Hope you love your bike as much as I love mine. That Fat Bob is just amazing. You guys have a good one. Peace.